Hello guys, welcome to the next video on HTML tutorial for beginners using HTML5. In the last video I have shown you how you can download and install Eclipse IDE and Notepad++ code editor in order to write your HTML code. Now in this video we will look at the basic structure of HTML code in detail, and we will see what every term means in HTML. So we are going to create a new project in Eclipse, which will be static project, and I'm going to name my project as my HTML, or you can name it anything. Click next, and this will be the default folder in which your HTML document can reside, which is web content, and click finish. It's going to create you a project. Now if you have already opened a project, you will see two projects in your Eclipse project explorer. Now if you want to close your previous project, you just need to select your previous project, right click on it, and you can just close it. Closing just means that this project is closed and it will not be taken into the consideration in Eclipse. But if you want to delete it from this project explorer, what you can do is right click it and just click delete, and it's not going to delete this project from your computer unless you check this checkbox. It's going to delete this project from your project explorer here, right? So now we have our project here. Now in the web content we are going to create a new HTML5, which we will name it as for example test.html, and click finish, and it's going to create a basic HTML page for us, and Eclipse gives us this default HTML code to us also. Now let's go in detail and let's see what each term means in HTML. So first of all, we will start with the comments. Now in order to write some comment, you just need to give this angle bracket and then this exclamation mark and then two dash symbols like this, or minus symbols, and then minus minus and this angle bracket, and whatever you write in between, it will be taken as a comment. Now comment are not the part of the code, but they help us to read the code in a better way. So they help us in code readability, right? Now what are these things? So first of all, there are three terms you need to understand in HTML. First is called a tag, and a tag is just these two angle brackets. And you can see here every element in HTML has this angle bracket, right? So this and this. Now whatever you write in this angle bracket is called tag name. Okay, so this is a tag name, and generally we have starting tag and closing tag. So tag name, and this is called a starting tag, and this is called a closing tag. And the difference between starting tag and closing tag is this forward slash. So whenever you add this forward slash in a tag, it's a ending tag, otherwise it's a starting tag. And there is one more term which we call element. So starting tag and ending tag and whatever you write in between, for example some content inside the tag, it's called the element. So element has starting tag, some content, and a closing tag, right? Now there is one more term which is called attribute. Now an attribute is something which you can add to the starting tag, for example some ID, and then you give the description of this attribute, for example description. Okay, so this is called the attribute. Okay, so we have understood what is a tag, what is an element, and what is an attribute. Now let's get started with our code. Okay, so in here, first line you can see here is called a doc type, and in detail it's called a document type, and this helps the browsers to recognize that it's a HTML page, right? So this is just like a preamble for an HTML page. So first of all, you need to add this doc type in every HTML page as a first line of every HTML file. Okay, now I'm going to delete everything and let's write it everything once again. So first thing is the document type, and document type start with this symbol and then just write doc type and then write HTML. Okay, HTML is a non-case sensitive language, so it doesn't matter if you write this word in capital or mixed letters or small letters, it will interpret as same, right? So you can write it like this or you can write it like HTML, it will be the same, right? Now every HTML code start with these HTML tags. Okay, and this tells the browser when it interprets it that this is the starting of your HTML code and this is the ending of your HTML code, and in between whatever you write will be the content of your HTML. Now in a HTML document we have two main tags or main categories. One is called a head and other is called the body. So a head is something like this, and in the head you can add the title of your HTML page and some metadata which you don't want to show, but it's a part of your HTML page, right? Now just below this head comes the body tag, right? And in this body, whatever you will write, it will be the content of your web page. So it will be shown. For example, you want to add a paragraph, heading, or tables, it will be enclosed in the body. Now the main tag or main element inside the head you can write is a title for your HTML document. So just write title, and whatever you write here will become the title. So you can say my title. Okay, and you can save this and you can just run your HTML page by right clicking on it, and you can just open with the web browser. Okay, and you can see right now you don't see anything, but here on the top you can see my title, and this my title is due to this text. Okay, or you can just change it my HTML, save it, and when you refresh it from here it becomes my HTML here, right? So this will become the title of your HTML web page. Now you can open this HTML page from your web browser also, which is not the native Eclipse, but for example Firefox or Chrome browser, you want to open your HTML. What you can do is you can just go to the location where your project is, and most probably it will be in your computer name, then workspace, then your project name. In my case my project name is my HTML. Then go to web content folder, and here I can see this test.html. You can just right click on it and then open with Firefox. Okay, and it's going to open it like this, and you can see the title is my HTML. Right now inside the body, whatever you write, it will become the body, or it will be shown here, right? So for example, there is a tag called paragraph, and you can add it like this, and inside this whatever you write, it will be considered as a paragraph. So for example, save it, and refresh your web page, and then you will see this paragraph in the body of your web browser, right? Now there is one more popular tag which you can use here is the heading tag, and there are different type of headings, but for now let's add a h1 tag here, and you can say heading, okay, and refresh your web page and it will become your heading. Right now there are two more main thing which can be used in an HTML document. One is the language you want to use in the HTML document, and this is an attribute you can add to your HTML tag. So for example, you can add this tag in the starting of your HTML tag, and this attribute is called lang. Okay, and then you can add different languages to your HTML tag attribute. For example, most commonly used is English, but there are many languages which are supported here, and this you can see when you Google for list of ISO 639-1 codes, and here you can see each and every code of every language which you can use here. Now second important thing here is a metadata tag called meta, okay, and here you can add an attribute called char set, and most generally we use UTF-8, but you can use other type of character set encoding also, but this is the most widely used character set in HTML. Okay, now you will notice here that this meta tag only have starting tag, it doesn't have ending tag, so it's not necessary to have in all cases the ending tag. Some tags are okay with the starting tag also and with an attribute also. So what we have learned today, what are tags, what are elements, what are attributes, and basic structure of HTML documents. So that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed this video. See you in the next video.